All right, here we go. First of all, can everybody see and hear what's going on? Just check with me on that one real quick. Set a bunch of different stuff up today. I'm not sure how everything's reacting. So we'll get it going here. This live tonight is to start building one of these cool little trick or treat baskets, just like this. This is a quick, easy project. It's a simple project. That way, if you're new to Mache or any of this stuff, it'll be easy to pick up anything that's going on. Um, anything we're doing, anything that's going on, it's going to be easy to pick up. Because we're going to go through all the basics kind of with this. This is going to kind of hit everything. We're going to do our strip mache, our armature. We're going to work with clay in this project, all this stuff. Not tonight, but throughout the rest of the project. Hello, Lupin. So, before we get going, I know there was more that emailed in that said that they were going to be here tonight to build, so I don't quite see all of them there. Uh, Next thing, just need to know, can you guys hear me? As soon as I get a response back on this, we'll get moving. Anyone? Lupin says he can hear me fine. All right, man. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that. Wasn't sure. Next question for you guys. Can you see two videos? Is there a small little video on one side that's got my ugly mug on it, and then a video down here for work area? Hopefully you guys can see that. I've been running around all day long today trying to figure out how to get this set up so you guys can see what's going on here and see my ugly mug at the same time. Right on. And then hopefully in the future we can get some more stuff. I was going to try to figure out how to get music on this thing too, but we didn't get there. Didn't make it. Kind of just ran out of time. Just trying to make this stuff a little easier. So if everybody's ready, I got hello Linda. Gland cam on the right. All right, very good. And it looks like I had a little glitching out there. I don't know what's going on with that. So hopefully we can kind of get through this and that I don't lose my cameras that many times. Stick with me, guys. This is kind of new stuff on this. Hopefully I can get it worked out. So this first one might be a little bumpy with losing feed and things like that. I don't know. I got a lot to learn on live stuff. So let's get after this. This is going to be an easy one to do. Tonight, we're not going to do a whole lot. Tonight, everybody's building along. You should have balloons or balloon, um, 20-inch at least, or 15-inch, whatever. You can hopefully you guys got some newspaper ready to go. I went ahead and pre-tore up some strips of newspaper before this thing started, so it'd be ready to go. And some mache paste. Also, what I didn't put in the list of things to have is a bowl of water. The bowl of water is just to wash your hands off, keep your hands clean. Anytime I do any kind of mache project, I've always got a bowl of water next to me so I can wash my hands off or wash off any utensils I'm using just to keep things clean. But I failed to let you guys know about that. Now, second thing that I didn't say to have, uh, maybe you guys got laying around the house somewhere some kind of a small plastic disposable bowl like this. I'm going to use this to set this balloon on after we get it macheted up. And this might even be too big. But whatever, we're going to go from there. So tonight, we're just going to make our armature. Our armature is super easy. I'm going to blow up a balloon, kind of get it in this size and shape. I like this. This side's a little small, but I really like the shape. Anybody that has gotten any of these from me, they've actually got them as collectors. They got them for their kids when they were young, going trick-or-treating, and they kept them around the house. They also make a great just decoration to lay around the house. Kind of a cool little idea. So you can see I had a video on this, and that thing, I didn't like the shape of it, didn't look good. But we're going to make this. Our first layer is just basically going to be this layer of mache around the balloon. This layer is going to have to be really strong because this is the bulk of it's going to be the bulk of our little basket here, because once this is dry and we head into next week, we're going to be messing with clay. We're going to be putting the clay on and scraping the mouth out and getting back down to the original. See this in here that's painted black? That's just the original mache from the beginning of this that we're getting down to for our face. So anyway, let's blow up a balloon. No cotton balls on this one, looping, just strip mache and clay. So tonight's just going to be strip mache, balloon, strip mache, and paste. Next week we will be doing clay and details. Then that'll have to set and dry, and then the next week we will do the handle and paints and all the finish up on it, which is actually a pretty easy project. And one more thing, you guys, I'm horrible. If you guys got any tape laying around the house at all, if you want to kind of force your balloon into a particular shape, you can use the tape to help kind of hold that shape at first while we do this, so you don't have such a kind of a balloony, whatever shape. This is going to be, this will probably be a little bit bigger than what's here. This is, I think, a 20-inch balloon. Yeah, this is one of the 20-inch balloons. Or is it? Oh, no, this one's a 30-incher. So here, I'll blow up 20-inch too. But I'm not blowing this balloon all the way up. We're just getting it started so we kind of get, this shape where we can squash this down a little bit. And then this is what we're going to work off of. These aren't super big. You can take this idea and do things and make like, you could make a candy jar to give away, your candy at Halloween. Doing the same exact concept, you would just do bigger, and you didn't even have to use a balloon. You could, what you could, if you had a plastic bowl, you could start off like that. If you're going to make a, a bowl for giving away candy. I'm pretty sure I told you guys a 20-inch balloon. So here's a 20-incher. Go ahead and tie this thing off. Wendy, nice to see you. Oddities, I'm glad you're here. Small bounty balls, that'll work perfectly too. I just dig these. You can kind of get some interesting shapes of the balloon. And what I'm going to do, this was the 20-inch. This was at 30-inch. It's just a little bit bigger, but I think I'm going to go with this one. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but see how this kind of comes to a point? I'm going to take tape and go ahead and run some tape around this and make that point on the bottom go away and flatten out the bottom side of this. So right now, whatever you got, if you bought a balloon, if you bought a ball, whatever it is, we're going to work this right now. Okay, I disappeared for a moment. I hope you guys are still there. Yeah, I lost you guys completely. So let me know if you guys are back. If I'm back, I'll sit here and wait for a little bit. Hopefully, we don't have to restart. All right, still here. Okay, awesome. Sorry, guys. I don't know. This little computer of mine might not be strong enough to do what I'm trying to do. So I might have to try to figure out a way to upgrade that stuff. Especially if we get a lot of people into wanting to build along. So right now, we're going to go ahead and just mache this thing. Any of you guys that have questions, put them in the chat. I'll try to answer all these questions as we go along. When I mache this thing, I'm not going to cover the whole ball because the top's going to be open. So I'm just going to mache, I'm going to mache 3/4 of the way up, but basically the top side, I'm just really going to leave open. And by the time this dries out, I may be cutting that down later on. We'll see. We'll figure that out next week. Right now, we're just going to do the most fun part of paper mache, and we're just going to sit here and add in some paper strips. It'd be good if I could do some kind of audio with you guys, because I'm just thinking about that. I'm telling you guys to ask me questions, and you've got to sit there and type on your phone or your computer or whatever you're watching this on. And if you cover yourself up in mache paste, you're not going to be able to really ask a whole lot of questions, are you? Yeah, every bit of it, Loop, was a learning curve. If I can get these live stream things figured out, then maybe we could have some fun classes and get going on from there. I had quite a few people look like nice response on this earlier that we're going to join a class and build along. I'm glad you guys are here, and I hope that most of you that are here are actually building along. The whole point is to kind of build a project with some of you guys, and then if you guys have questions about the project or whatever it is, I'm right here to answer those questions. That's what this is for. It's not like you couldn't figure it out yourself, but is what it is. Speech to text. Hey, that would be a good idea. I don't think I can do that on this, but if you guys can, awesome. So when I do this, the first thing I do, and I'm not even, yeah, we're going to go old school with this. We're just going to get nasty tonight. I'm just going hand straight into the paste, straight onto the balloon. And then I'm just going to lay my strip down. This is kind of really the best way to do it versus I don't dip, when I do strip mache, I don't dip my strips, as you can see, into the paste. I put paste onto my armature, then I lay my strips down to that, and then re-add paste on top of that. Because generally when you do it like this, you can smooth all the air bubbles out from underneath and then hit it from the top side and let that paste soak back in. And without having those air bubbles under there, we make a much stronger base. Sometimes if you got too much paste built up around your paper and you throw it on, it'll leave gaps in between, and those gaps become weak points, if that makes sense. And when we get, and we're back. Okay, awesome. We get to the clay part on this, and you guys are going to enjoy it because it's a lot the way we're going to set this up is so easy to do. And fun. That's very true. You don't have to wait until next. You don't have to decide till next week. Looping. Right on. Yeah, I use brushes sometimes too, but then there's just times that I just like the feeling of my hands being involved. And then on these two, when you're doing smaller, like this is a smaller little balloon or whatever, if your strips are thinner and shorter and smaller, you'll get them to lay out better without as many wrinkles, especially on this first layer, because the balloon's going to be kind of squishy. Now I'm going to put 2 or 3, I might even put 4 layers on this tonight, but I'm going to let this dry. And then tomorrow I'm going to come back and hit it again. Once these layers are kind of dried up a little bit and let's stiffen this ball up some, you can go in with a little bit bigger strips because you can be way more aggressive and really get them to flatten out and really lay it to them. If that makes any sense to you guys at all. I'm trying to keep this in focus so you guys can see. I'll get pretty intent on what I'm doing. And I have a bad habit of pulling what I'm working on out of the camera angle. I do it all the time on my videos. There's so much footage on my videos that is wasted because you can't see anything. Oh, okay. Yeah, so awesome. Good question. Yes, what I'm using is glue mixed with water. It's Titebond 2, and I actually think there's some Titebond 3 still in this. Generally, that's all I use anymore is Titebond 2 with glue and water because of the fact that everything I make, I have full intentions of it going outside in the weather for October. And so that wood glue helps create one of the first layers of weatherproofing. The ratio on this, I eyeball things, but I would say 3 to 1. So basically 3 parts glue to 1 part water. Because you want it, you still want it sticky, you want it tacky. The water thins it out just enough. And it's actually the glue that's in there is what's really going to help make it stiff, strong. I should get a sponsorship from Titebond. Anything with Mache. When you look up paste, all the standard Mache paste were, of course, flour and water, that type of thing. And then anybody else that was using anything different, they were using like wallpaper paste or wallpaper glue or whatever. And then just from being around construction and different things like that, and knowing that Titebond wood glue was pretty good out in the weather, I went that direction as a test, and it worked out, and I never looked back. Oh, hey, I guess we'll do while I'm doing this and everybody's in here doing this. Might as well do a shameless plug. Um, you guys like the content on the channel and you're having fun doing these and you would like to see more, and if you would like to support the channel more than just watching, you could always join Patreon. Got a Patreon group. I got a link down below. I don't do a whole lot extra on Patreon. I should. But for the most part, most of the guys that are on Patreon right now, we've talked about that, and they are just there saying, we're doing this because we like what you do on YouTube. So that's always there. All that support is greatly appreciated. All the stuff like that. Like I was saying a minute ago, if I need to get a stronger computer, those funds would go towards doing things like that to help enhance making these videos and doing live classes and whatnot and things like that. However, that is not anything that you have to do whatsoever. I appreciate all the views, regardless. And I appreciate all the comments from everybody. It's nice to know that some of the stuff I put out there on the internet, there's people out there that actually enjoy watching it. Get off of there. I want to do in the future of these live classes, I want to tackle some harder projects that may take a month to complete. Get enough people that are, and we're back. Okay. Asked the other day if we totally go that route. I'm going to put in one setting right here on this one, I'm going to put like 3 or 4 in one setting, and then we'll let that dry up. And then tomorrow, should be pretty dry tomorrow. And then I'll probably put another 3 to 4 on it then too as well. Back to the Mache. Yes, if you make up a batch of Mache and you put it in a container, like this is just this was ice cream. We like to eat around here. This is an old ice cream container. I store my paste in that, and with it just being wood glue and water, it lasts for almost ever, it seems like. I do quite a few projects. I mean, I might do more than the normal person, but I've never had my glue and water mixture mold, as long as I've had a lid on it. I'm not saying that it's impossible, because everything will mold in the right conditions. An evil Easter bunny. Okay, here we go. Let's talk about evil Easter bunnies. I started one last year to try to get out as a video for YouTube before Easter hit. That thing fought me tooth and nail every step of the way. I almost I almost threw it out. I got that upset and frustrated with it. It's 90% done. I didn't throw it out. Still got it. It's in the other room. I am probably going to go ahead and finish that just to get a video out there because he looks pretty cool. But the bad thing is I have I got no use for him. Once the video's done, he's going to be absolutely useless to me because I won't use him in a Halloween setting or anything else. And then I didn't make his armature strong enough. That's why I had problems with him. So I probably wouldn't be able to put him outside. He's kind of too big to set in the house. But I mean, he's going to make a cool video. Hopefully, if I get him done. Windy, windy, windy. Oh, so did you ask for the Easter Bunny back when, and then we flooded out? So yeah, so that when we flooded out, that kind of killed everything. But I started one last year. I just ran out of time. We'll get him done this year. I'm going to hair it along the same lines as I did. I don't know if any of you guys have seen I put some shorts out this week. There's one about a rat I called Envy that was actually made for a haunted house. And I'll be hairing the rabbit the same way I haired that giant rat. Patrick, do I ever have problems with paper sliding? Yes, as a matter of fact, right now, you guys probably didn't see it, but I have paper sliding on me at this point in time. And that's when you're first doing it right now, like we just got this balloon going on right now. This is the time that the paper is going to give you the hardest time. This is when it is going to try to slide around on you some. You just got to kind of play with it, move stuff back around, back and forth. It can kind of be frustrating now, but that's where, like I said before, if once you get these first couple of layers on, you set and you let this dry, and you come back and hit it tomorrow, you won't have issues with the paper sliding. So while we're attaching it to the balloon, yes, we'll have problems with paper sliding. You got to be careful. But once it's dry, as you can do a couple more layers right on top of what we already got. You won't have a lot of those issues. You can be way more aggressive with it. You can lay down. You can just really manhandle it a lot more and really flatten things out a lot better, and things won't slide around. So that being said, too, your first night, depending on what's going on, if you say, if I only put like 2 layers on this would dry faster tonight, right? And so tomorrow it'd dry quicker, and then tomorrow I would have a platform that my paper wouldn't move around on, and then I can aggressively go after it, and it's easier that way. But I'm going to go ahead and do like 2 or 3 layers tonight. And that's the thing, whatever layers you guys put on tonight, these 2 or 3 layers, make sure Okay, we're back again. That's irritating as all get out. But once you get, like, let's say tomorrow you're going to add some more layers, and Wednesday add more layers. Once you're done with that, then let this thing sit. Keep it inside. Even if it was sunny outside in summertime, still keep it inside, I say, especially if you got an air conditioning system, because it draws the moisture out of the air. If you happen to have a dehumidifier running in your home right now, go set this in the same room with your dehumidifier, put a little fan on it. It'll dry it out way faster. I borrowed a dehumidifier once from a friend of mine when I was first made some of those snowmen, and there were a lot of people in town who wanted to buy Okay, am I back? Am I here? Are we back? I lost everything for a moment there. My entire computer crashed. Okay, awesome. I'm sorry, guys. Holy crud. Okay, what? Let's see what I missed in chat. You guys have been talking. Do-do-do-do-do. Okay. We're gonna keep trying to go here with this, guys. Yeah, could be interesting. This little computer here just may not be quite strong enough to pull this off. Let's get some light back. Okay, hey, let's do it again. Let's see if we can keep this thing going before it crashes again. Sorry about all of that. Oh, hello, Leslie from New Mexico. Yeah, technology sucks. But it's a good thing too. I need to invest in some better stuff. So let's get back to what we were doing, which was this cameras though. This one right here. Was this camera still on the entire time when I was gone? Now I'm lost. I don't remember what I was talking about. Yes, it was. Okay, interesting. But with that camera on, though, you probably still couldn't hear anything, though, correct? That's pretty funny. Well, it came back. Yeah, we're back live again right now. I don't. It's funny. They said this camera stayed rolling, lost the other one, and my audio is running off this one.
It was like a ghost moving around. That's funny.
Yeah, someone said I think he glued himself to it. I don't think for what I'm trying to pull off here, I don't think that's a strong enough setup.
Ghost Jay. Hey, this is my dust spray. I need it back.
We'll take it, babe.
Oh, Rufus.
What?
Can you smell it?
No.
Oh, God. Come on, Rufus. Let's go.
Yeah, that could be it, Lupin. The rabbit's not liking the trash talking. He might be back there screwing stuff up. Nah, it just this little laptop I'm running off of was kind of bought for work, and it wasn't the strongest thing in the world. It definitely wasn't set up for gaming or live streaming, anything like that. And so I'm trying to force it probably to do stuff that it's not prepared to do. So I don't know if I either need to get something that's bigger or better, or I don't know if there can be something that can be plugged into this to help it. I'm not super tech savvy when it comes to that junk. And I really need to be, because I kind of like these lives, and I would like the lives to go on without a hitch, right? Because I even discovered a way to play some music with this stuff, and it's music that I wouldn't have to worry about getting copyright strikes on. So there'd be a little more, you know, background noise, not so quiet, things going on. That way we could all just hang out, kind of jam together, make some cool projects. Yep, that was Carrie. Now she's already upstairs again. Yeah, I thought doing two camera deals like that would be a little bit, a little bit better. Where at least when you guys had questions and I was trying to address the answers to those, it feel a little more like I was actually talking to you versus you just seeing the hands. And then with this, I figured too, I got a different camera than this one, and I want to hook the other one up because you can zoom way down and closer. So, when we get into things to do a little more detail, maybe I could zoom stuff in tighter and kind of show you guys the detail or exactly what I'm doing to get that detail. If any of that junk makes sense to you. You gonna dance too? Well, that depends. How many super chats happen? Another shameless plug. Help poor broke unhinged purchase new equipment. I'm gonna work on some new T-shirt designs too. Uh, with some different art. The shirt design I got right now, which I don't even think is up on Etsy. I need to go check that. What's on the back of that shirt is actually one of the pumpkins I had actually made. So I want to do another one like that. And then I thought about trying to do some stuff with coffee mugs. If there's anybody interested out there in a Unhinged Productions coffee mug. Got some kind of funny ideas for some t-shirts about balls and stuff. You know. Oh, I forgot to mention tonight that if you guys have paid close enough attention, we're just massaging out a ball at the moment. Yeah, see, and even right now, this is trying to slide a little bit. I don't know if the camera can pick up. See these little, yeah, see through here how that's lifted up a little bit. My newspaper is moving just enough to create some of those little gaps. I'm going to massage those gaps down tomorrow when I work on this. It'll be much easier to get those gaps out of there. Much, much easier. Now, when I'm saying tomorrow, I'm not going to be live tomorrow. We're just doing this on Mondays. But like I said, we can only do so much in one night. So once we get done with this tonight and you move on tomorrow, still, you're going to want to do a couple more layers tomorrow night, let that dry up, do a couple more layers Wednesday, and then let that set until next Monday. You want plenty of layers on this thing so this is nice and solid, because we're just going to take our clay. This is our foundation of this basket, right? So this will provide all of our strength, and then we're going to throw our clay right on top of this to make our basket, to do our face, to do all of our detail work, all that stuff. Yeah, I'll have to work on some merch. Some more merch. So I know Lupin's not really doing, he's already got his base made. He's going to be doing clay with us next week. Who all is here that is physically working right now, right along with this? I'm curious to know. I think if you put Wendy, if you put it just next to a vent, I don't think the balloon would pop. I know that. I guess it depends on, because okay, we're back again. So I don't take my balloon stuff out in the sun, because the sun, for sure, that heat expands the balloon and it pops and creates problems before it break. The hair dryer might be okay, like on a low setting or something. All right, Oddities is working. She's on layer 3. Wendy says, oh no, probably because we stopped for a little bit, but I'm back. It's just a fight. It's going to be a fight. I think I'm pretty much on my third layer too. Also, quick tip: paper for your second layer, do the yellow book. Then it's easier to keep track of where you are in layers. I'll preach to you about what the good way to do things are while I don't do it. I've done it in the past, though. You just don't happen to have any newspaper, or not newspaper. Got newspaper right here. I don't have any phone book stuff right now. starting to get low on newspaper too. I'm going to have to get a hold of my supplies. Go hit up my newspaper dealers. Just about out. So, okay, well, I'm impressed, Wendy, that even without working, you're sitting here watching through this stuff. I think live streams, I don't know. I always think the live stream's boring because I run out of stuff to talk about. But I hear there's a lot of people out there that just kind of enjoy. Subscribers, which really doesn't make a real big deal because out of the 16,000 subscribers, I'm getting like what 200 views. So there's only a couple hundred of you out there that are actually really watching. We may do some kind of pumpkin giveaway or something here in the future. But I'm going to do some. I've had requests, and I want to get some built for the pumpkin. I'm going to do some miniature pumpkin demons. Okay. Yeah. Linda, show which work, Linda, do you want to see? This ball or other work? Like work on what? The rabbit? Any other work? Let me know. Patrick, if the balloon pops, is there any way of saving it? Well, it depends on how wet it is. Maybe get another balloon in there and blow it up and then expand it back out. If we were just making standard pumpkins, I'd say absolutely, because you could just turn it into a rotten pumpkin. Or I guess even in this case, since we're making a trick or treat basket, you could make it a rotten pumpkin trick or treat basket. So that would be kind of cool and its own idea as well. Some of you usually miss them, but not tonight. Okay. Patrick says, I've been making commitments but wasn't seeing it, right? Whoa. Okay. Patrick, yes, balloon pops. We went over that. Guys, hit the thumbs up. It helps the channel. Absolutely, it does help the channel. If you guys like, hit thumbs up. Those type of things help. It boosts cobwebs. Keith, what's up? Nice to see you here tonight. I know you're working. I'm glad to see you on here. Lizzie wants to see a big project. Right on. For YouTube, right? You want to see a big project video. Correct? If so, correct. I've got a wolf video out there. It's not a very good tutorial. It's actually not a tutorial at all. But that was a pretty big project. And there's also a pumpkin dragon on there. That's not really a tutorial either, but we're going to do some big ones. We're going to do some big ones. We are going to do some big ones. The ball I'm working on right now. Okay, Linda. So here we are. I've gone a little higher than what I said I was. I said I was only going to go 3/4 of the way up. A little past that, but that's okay because I'll cut that off. I'm pretty, well, let's get under here. I'm pretty smooth at the moment. I'm about 3 layers in. And now I lost track of where I was. I think it was right here. No, yes, no. No, it's here. Whatever. I'll just start here. So just a ball at the moment. Big balls. Well, Wendy, as soon as you get your glue set up, hopefully tomorrow, get rolling on this, because as you can see, this doesn't take a whole lot. Like, I'm actually pretty close to being able to say, hey, I can take a break and stop, and this can dry up for tonight. I'm just rambling at the moment and keeping on. That way I can answer any questions you guys got. This project right here, though, is quick and easy, especially if you've never really done anything like this before. It's a great beginner's. Oh, like the spider was nice on the one, like talking about this guy. Well, this is the second one of these guys I made, and I didn't do as good of a job on him because I was in a rush. But there's that, yeah, the spider was kind of fun to do. Well, how do we get this camera angle going? Maybe I can't twist it right. I can't look at this. Oh my gosh. That's harder to do than what you think. There we go. So I got to fix two of his legs. They broke. But the base, these parts here, the base of the spider was mache clay, and then the legs are made out of toothpicks, jammed into the clay, and then hot glued at each joint. Whatever. It was a fun little accent to put on that thing. Wendy is pretty funny because the evil Easter bunny that I haven't finished up yet, that's waiting back there for me to finish up, he has got smashed up rotten eggs in his hands that are drooping all this stuff, all this goop down to the ground. I'll have to finish him out and actually get a video up so everybody can see him. I was all excited to do it when I did it, and then he was such a pain in the butt that I just, if you've done this stuff for a while, I'm sure some of you guys have, where you've worked on a project, and when a project starts fighting you, you kind of get to this point where you're just like done with it. Yeah, I kind of reached that point on that one, but I saved him so I can still finish him. It's been a year. I've calmed down enough that I could probably reapproach it and get it done with a level head and make something of it. Cobwebs, thanks, brother. Thanks for the support. I appreciate it. I will be taking that $10 there to apply to some more stronger computers that don't shut down on me in the middle of freaking a live stream. Yeah, that's what I felt like, Lizzie, that I was drunk. I was trying to look in the monitor over there and then move it around with my hands. It's a skill I have not yet acquired. Windy Halloween display. Absolutely, I do a pretty big Halloween display. If you look further in on my channel, you'll see one video that says 2022 Halloween display. If you click that video, the beginning of the video is going to kind of show where I left off in the week before doing the display, and then you get towards the end and it actually shows the display at night. Wendy, good night. Hey, good night to you. You stay safe as well. Kim, we don't cover the what? We don't cover the ET. Yeah, I'm lost. Lupin. Oh, dude, you're so right, man. There are times it's just way better to set a project to the side and walk away for a while and come back at it with a fresh set of eyes, fresh set of motivations. Well, an antique Dell laptop, right? Oh, you're saying goodnight to cobwebs. Okay, yeah. He's on his night job tonight. Oh, okay, Kim. For this one, I'm sorry. For this one, no. I mean, if you cover the whole balloon, that's fine. It's not a big deal. Um, but there's no real purpose in covering the whole balloon just for the fact. Let me wipe my hands off here. Because even when I originally made these, it didn't cover it all the way. You know, since our trick or treat basket's going to be open in the first place, there's no real reason to cover the entire balloon. You just want to come up, quite a ways up here. That way you get a good strong thickness at the top or whatever. And then we're going to wind up, once we pull the balloon out, we're going to wind up trimming some of this down a little bit lower. So we'll pull part of the top off, we'll trim it down to get to a line, something like this. And then when we do our clay and stuff next week, not only will we put our clay on and get these ridges like this, but then we'll round off all these tops and create these kind of ridges here that carry that pumpkin design right along with it. And then we're going to cut, do our eyes and our face and all that good stuff. Um, Let that set and dry. The next week, handle, paint, all that good stuff. Yeah, looping. Yeah, about an inch or so past. I probably put close to 5 layers on tonight. I would, if you put like 3 layers on tonight, tomorrow I'd put at least another 3 layers on, let that dry, and then Wednesday maybe do another 3 layers after that. That way you just get that base really strong, and those do some of those last. Okay, I'm back again. So when you work on these other ones later on, it's hard to see. This camera's not picking it up, but I've got quite a few that are kind of bumping up on here. The last few layers you do, really work on making this kind of as smooth as you can. Make sure that when you tore your paper, you don't have any factory hard edges, that everything's actually a tore edge that's going to be on your paper. Because when we start carving the detail in, like the eyes and the mouth and stuff like that, scraping the clay. So the smoother you can make the base, the smoother all that stuff will be when we expose for the mouth and the eyes and that type of stuff. If I can only get this computer to quit dogging out on me. Holy cow. Kim, are you out? If you're out, we'll see you next week. As far as what I'm doing here, I've got 3 or 4 layers on there. I'm going to stop where I'm at and let this dry. So I don't need to add any more to it tonight. I'll add some more to it tomorrow and some more to it on Wednesday. So at this point, before I go, I'll answer any more questions that you guys might have. Okay, let's drop. We're going to remove that. Maybe that'll help out now. Possibly. Since the work's done, yeah, I'm going to let that dry tomorrow. I'll hit it again. I'm going to hit it again on Wednesday, make it nice and strong. So next week, let's talk about that while I got you guys on here. Next week, we're going to need, if you're building along, you're going to need clay. What recipe for the clay, Robin? Let me see if I can do this. You're going to want to use the TP recipe for the clay because that's going to be a smoother clay. Let me see if I can send you guys a link on here real quick. Yes, babe. You have people saying hi, but you're already gone.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hi. I can't watch my show, can
I? You will be able to here shortly. Because we're almost
I just need to get ready for bed, and I was gonna lay down and chill.
Where is? Okay. Do I draw out a big project first? No, half the time I don't. I just go after it. I don't know. I'll look at different pictures for references on things or whatever. And then for the most part, it's just kind of in my mind. And I just go after it. I do better with the build and sculpting than I do with like drawing that out.
Hey, baby.
Hang on, guys. I'm looking for this Mache recipe.
No, because you gotta let that dry. You won't be able to do anything.
Correct.
All right.
Share. Copy. Okay, here we go. Hang on. For those wanting to know Mache recipe, right here's a link. Hopefully that comes in. That's a link to the toilet paper mache recipe that I use. I would definitely go with the toilet paper route versus like there's the egg carton clay. I wouldn't use it because it's hard to detail into it. Also the cellulose fiber insulation clay. I wouldn't use it either because it's got too big of pieces in it. When we start trying to pull and make the face and all that stuff with that junk gets in the way and it pulls and tears. So definitely toilet paper clay recipe. And like I said, even in the original one I saw it on oh gosh darn it, what is her name? It's Ultimate Paper Mache Joni. And then I saw her recipe and then I changed it, added wood glue and some different stuff to it. And then that's what I've used a whole lot. So hang on. Yes, materials for next Monday. Let's do this. How thick will the last layer make the pumpkin? You mean the last paper layer? It might be 2/16 of an inch or 3/16 of an inch, something like that. It's not real thick, to be super honest. Lupin, step one, a gallon of ice cream so you can have somewhere to store your paste. That is correct. Absolutely correct. Yes, Mo. If it's not completely dry tomorrow, you can add more on top of it for sure. Just make sure that by Wednesday, it's the last time you do it. That way it gets completely dry. We want the base completely dry before we add clay to it. If that makes any sense. Yeah, so your paper and glue is going to be, under a quarter of an inch thick. If you went a quarter of an inch thick, that'd be awesome. That'd be a one heck of a base layer. It'd be super strong, but you don't have to go that big. So next week, you're going to have paper mache clay, recipe you like the most. If you can find, this is another little trick that you guys get to learn that I don't just tell everybody all the time. Here's one of the bigger hot glue sticks, and here's a littler hot glue stick. And you can find the littler diameter hot glue stick. A dowel rod's not going to work. We want something like this. So if you can find a hot glue stick, a small one, this is going to make your life much, much easier next week when we do this. So paper clay, one of these. You're going to want just some different sculpting tools. Depending on what you got, I got things like this, like this. If you don't have these, I think I even saw some of these at Walmart. Some little kits that came with certain ones like this. They're not that expensive, so you can buy like a little kit for like $5 or whatever. Get that; it's going to be good. The number one thing you're going to see me use is this. This is a spoon. When I talk about the back of a spoon, I'm talking about the back of a handle of a spoon, and this has there's no insignias on that, nothing to make it fancy. It's just smooth and round. This is like my number one go-to to smooth clay out and move clay around. This thing right here, this is like this spoon I stole from the kitchen years ago, and I still have this spoon. I use it all the time. So if you find a nice cheap spoon like that, it's got a nice flat handle, grab that. So we're going to need clay. We're going to need some kind of sculpting tools, a spoon. Of course, you want a bowl of water again, and a small little hot glue stick like this. And then if you guys got a Lazy Susan or something that you can use, I had one. It went bad on me. I need to get another one. If you got a Lazy Susan, that would work great because you'll be able to set your pumpkin right down on that and sculpt from there. Because what we're going to wind up doing is putting clay all over this thing, placing it down so we make basically a flat bottom, and then we're going to do our old detail work. So next week it's not really that big either. One of these, paper clay, sculpting tools, water, and that should really be all that you guys need. When you got a square, the biggest thing is what with this one being like round here, it allows me to really it doesn't hang up. I don't have any edges to hang up on stuff. I can really smooth stuff out. Square might work as well as long as it's nice and flat. And this camera doesn't really pick it up. There's a little bit of a curve to this right here too, which helps out a lot. It's not flat like a butter knife. Wendy's back. Glue stick. The small glue stick doesn't have to be this long. If you got one that's shorter like that, it'll work too. But if you can find the longer ones, I found these in Walmart. Okay. As long as looping, if the hose doesn't have any texture to it, and it's nice and small like this, the smaller diameter. I don't know what this is. It's just this. Yes, if you got a hose with no texture on it, that'll work as well. Yes, the Bethy Boop. So the wood glue definitely helps. That's like one of the first stages in helping against weather and helping waterproof. Um, wood glue, once wood glue dries and sets up, you can throw that stuff out in the rain, whatever, whether it's on a piece of wood or anything else, and that wood glue generally does not break back down. Wood glue holds. That's why I use wood glue. It doesn't make it when we're doing this stuff. That doesn't make it 100% waterproof. That's for sure. You can go ahead. We'll be okay.
You sure?
Yeah, because I'm down to one camera. So, so it doesn't make it 100% waterproof, but it definitely helps when I do these things that go out in the yard. I'm always doing wood glue at first, and then of course I do sealer, and then I do um, layers of exterior paint as a base layer, and then I do color paint. Move on for there. So, but everything I make, if you go back to the channel and look at anything I've made in the past, the dragon, the wolf, the witches, the tombstones, whatever, all the stuff that's there, all that stuff, I put all of that stuff out in the yard every year for 30 days, and I don't bring them in. They get rained on, so, and they've lasted. Uh, okay, Linda, he's wanting a hose because I'm saying next week, supply wise, you're going to want a glue stick like this. This is the smaller diameter glue stick. It's not the big one. This is how we're going to cheat. Where'd he go? Using one of these whenever we go to clay this thing up and start putting in our ridging for our pumpkins. This is the number one, and I've never shown a tutorial on it or anything else, and I need to. This is a super fast, awesome way to create these ridges. So when this clay is fresh and wet, and we've got this thing sitting there, basically I'm going to get this wet. We're going to press this right into the clay, just like that. As you can see, that's what I used. And it'll slide it out, and we'll get a ridge. And it's already beveled pretty nice. And then we'll use this all the way around. Boom, 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 nice and fast. Get our ridges. We might come back just a little bit and like knock some of the corners down. You don't want a harsh edge, but you'll just float it in. And then we've got a pumpkin shape, super fast, super easy. That's what we want these for. It works really, really well. Wendy, what's the paper clay? There is a link. If you scroll back up, Wendy, you'll see a link to my paper mache clay recipe I use. It's a TP clay recipe. If you don't see it in this, which I did put it up in there, if you go to the channel and hit videos, I submitted it. Well, actually, if you go to videos and if it shows like popular videos or something like that, I'm sure it'll be in one of those because it gets a lot of views. Yep, time for cleanup, Lizzie. Night. We'll see you guys next week, and we're going to make this thing sweet. Yeah, Lupin, I'm always looking for tricks, and it's worked out well. Yeah, scroll up. I think it's only like, well, now everybody's talked. Well, that's, it's not up there that far. Where did, yeah, it's not up there too far. It's 10 or 12 conversations up. Oddities, I'm glad to see you're here. I'm glad you guys had fun. I hope all you guys had fun. There's the 14 of you on here. I'm shutting it down for the night. We'll see you guys next Monday where we're going to clay. We're going to put some character to this thing. We're going to have some more fun and actually make this thing look like something other than just a ball. Make sure you guys get another layer on tomorrow. Get another layer on Wednesday. Let that thing dry. Set it up. Put a fan in front of it. Put in front of a dehumidifier. Anything you can. Just let it dry. Get it getting strong. That way we're ready for next week. Make sure you make a batch of clay before next week. Because I'm telling you, when we go to clay it, when we do things, I think that's when you're going to have the most questions. And if you've got it right there in front of you, I'm going to be able to help you out the most when we have it like that, the most. So I'm out. See you guys. I appreciate all of you. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next week.